Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This little introduction was actually filmed after the footage that you're about to see. I started the day today not having any plans to do any filming. The roads were horrible. It was snowing with sort of a freezing rain snow mix, and so I wasn't going to do any filming, but as I was driving through my normal work day, I looked down and I had an autopilot indication came up on the screen, and I looked and I'm like, I can barely see the lane. So I grabbed my phone and held it with one hand and the other hand on the wheel, but I put it into autopilot, and on a number of occasions today I was in autopilot while the roads were just, I don't want to say undrivable, but were really terrible. So I wanted to show you guys some of the footage that I took today. I apologize for the haphazard nature of this video. Again, I didn't set out to film a video today. This is just something that that happened, so I grabbed my phone and wanted to record just some interesting autopilot winter little video clips for you. So here you go. All right, so I'm in autopilot again, and you can see, can't even see the right side lane line at all. Obviously you can see the left one, but stop and go traffic. So one hand on the wheel, no foot on the pedals. And so, yep, I love using autopilot in stop and go traffic like this because it, I don't know, it just takes some of the burden off. And plus, if the autopilot somehow freaks out and the car wants to turn one way or another, I'm going so slow it doesn't really matter. But so you can see though that autopilot is engaged, and yet the you know, the road conditions are pretty horrible, yet it's still seeing the lines just fine. Still trucking along just fine in autopilot, and yeah, the car's working great. Even in these crappy conditions, it's still tracking along just fine. And kind of bumpy, I'm sure you can hear. So, but yep, autopilot is surprisingly good actually in this disgusting weather. You look and you really can't see the lines hardly at all, but the car sees them just fine on the screen there. So, yep. Look at this, I cannot believe it. It's actually able to track through this. Look at that. How on earth does it know where the lane is? Alright, now it's a little bit more clear. Amazing, guys. Autopilot is amazing in this weather. Look at this. Complete snow coverage. Completely. Absolutely nothing visible at all as far as lines. But look at that on the screen. But autopilot sees it just fine. So if you look, you can't see any road lines at all, and yet autopilot sees them. So, kind of surprising that, I mean, you can see the slush, but I can't see any painted lines, but autopilot sees it just fine on the screen. So, yeah, it's pretty fascinating. You can see that there's an SUV and a truck to my left, and on the screen it shows two trucks. An SUV, and it thinks that the other one's a van, but pretty accurate in its assessment of what cars are on the road. So, yep, pretty good. And traffic's starting to move, and it's working just fine. I've got my hand on the wheel here ready because we're going through an intersection, but the car's handling it just fine without any issues. Really pleased with this latest version of autopilot. Really working great. So you can see here, this indication came up. If it says autopilot features limited, if issue persists, contact Tesla service. So that's come up a couple times for me. I believe it's usually happens when there's ice and slush up against the sensors. You can see it's still a wintry mix of weather outside. So kind of an interesting thing I thought you guys would get a kick out of seeing. And more cruising. For those of you that know the area, I'm in the town of Mundelein, heading west on Lake Street, Route 176. And, or excuse me, it's Maple Avenue, which is Route 176. So, yeah, going well. You know, again, the weather is really, really bad here. But you know, I wasn't planning on shooting this video. I just realized that Autopilot's working awfully well in this terrible weather conditions on the road. And so I wanted to go ahead and get it on video. I do have my hand on the wheel, for those of you that are wondering. But so, yeah, hand on the wheel, but no feet on the pedals. So, yeah, yeah, it's, you know what, way better than I thought it would be. So, I know this has been just a quickie video, you guys. I wasn't setting out to film anything historic today. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what it's like to live with Autopilot day to day. So, let's see, this car's turning. Will Autopilot know to go around him? Yes, wow. That went pretty well. That went pretty well. So, going through an intersection. Oh, it just gave up and kicked itself out. So that does happen. This is why it's smart to have your hand on the wheel. I do drive with my hands off the wheel in Autopilot, but only if I'm on a very, very clear road with no traffic lights and side streets and all that. But you know, I don't normally use it through town, just kind of filming for you guys, but you can see what can happen. It can alert you and make you take over. So yeah, kind of interesting. I mean, I've used Autopilot in the winter before, but haven't really, you know, I don't trust it when the weather is that bad. So I typically won't use it, or I'll set out to shoot a video and then I can't seem to find the right conditions for the video I'm trying to shoot. But today, just spontaneously, there were a couple of roads that were pretty bad, so I wanted to go ahead and film that. Anyway, not a big deal video. I don't have much time invested in this. It was just something I thought you guys would get a kick out of. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Yeah, you guys have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye now.